Hi everyone, this is a collection of videos basically in the process of making my dad a walking stick. Latter years he's needed a bit of a hand to get round, so I thought I'd try and make him a nice one. So this step I've lots of sections of wood. This is a bit of laburnum and I'm cutting them down, about 8 of them, all the same. This particular bit of laburnum was enough for 2 pieces, so I'm just cutting a groove in the middle there. Each end of these pieces of wood's got a tenon, and when I part this one into 2 pieces, I've got 2 bits. The way I'm going to make this, because it's pretty much segments, I'm going to have a bit of all thread running through the middle of each piece of wood. So each of them need drilled out. You can see a couple of pieces here. That's that laburnum actually getting drilled out. Pretty hardwood laburnum, it's lovely. I just wanted to tidy up the ends here on the little bandsaw, just trying to tidy them up a bit before they're all glued together once they're put on the all thread bar. So you can see I'm just threading on a piece now with a epoxy. I've sandwiched each segment of wood with a bit of mahogany, a thin piece. This is shaping the handle. I've lost a bit of video footage somewhere. This handle's drilled out. It's going to have a little compartment inside, a bit like a box. This is lead wood. It's really hard wood, but it's lovely once it's finished. Very like African blackwood. So I'm just trying to shape this up and get it to something that I like, ready for later once the actual stick's ready. You can see I'm using this self-powered sander I made. I've got a video up there on my channel. It works really well. That's just a scooter wheel. It gives you good control actually. It's really nice to use. Just finishing off the top to the handle, like the box lid. What I've done here actually, I don't know if it's easy to pick up, but I've put like a little rubber O-ring, which has worked really well for keeping the top on the handle. I'm going to do another video later on using them. It worked really well. Right, I've turned the handle round and I've put it on like a jam chuck. It's not brilliant, but I'm just finishing off the other side of the handle. Try and get them both the same. Imagine what it's like with the lid on, getting them pretty spot on. I'm finishing this whole cane, the whole walking stick, with CA glue. Probably the biggest thing I've ever tried to finish with CA glue, but it worked. You'll see it worked pretty good. So this handle, I'm just polishing it up. I've said over and over again, when you're doing CA glue stuff, you've got to sand it down, make sure it all turns to a white fine dust, clean it off with a bit of boiled linseed oil, and then apply the CA glue again, keep going, and then final polish with Brasso. Just drilling a small recess in here for my little logo, which I think works quite well. This little logo is just a very small 15mm one out of MDF, cut on a laser cutter. There you can see I'm just putting some super glue on. This is the lid to the handle box. I only had medium thick and I didn't know whether it's going to work, but it turned out fine. Same process, just get it on there, sand it off, polish it. So there you go, you can just about see the little rubber O-ring there. and that top fits in there quite nice. It's a reasonable fit. It's not going to fall out when he's using the stick. Pretty pleased with it. Okay, here's where I thought, yeah, I'll be able to roll a 80cm bar on the lathe, but absolutely not. I haven't got a steady rest, so plan B. What I've done is I've chopped it in half through the all thread, and what I've got to do is I've got to take off one of the sections of them wood at each end so I can get back to the threads. And what I'm doing is making like kind of centre sections with the quick release joints that I've used on my chisels. So essentially it works out quite well. The walking stick can be split into 2 bits, you know, if you're packing it in a suitcase or something, and it worked really well. So there I'm just gluing in one of the brass fittings for the quick release joint. This, although it looks like the male joint, this is actually the female joint. I've used an old male joint to help me put the female joint in. This will be removed, leaving the female joint glued in there. This is just exactly the same process for making the chisel handles.
Yes. He must be somewhere. Secret Service's protection detail. Yes.
So exactly the same process for the other half of the walking stick. Taking off that old bit of wood segment, get down to the threads, so that I can put I can screw in another one, but with the male part of the quick release joint.
Tells me that even as we talk, a communist.
So here's the male part of the joint going in. I ended up using some plumber's grips there to tighten it in, but I knew I was going to cut down the diameter of this, so it didn't matter if the grips marked the brass. Lots and lots of sanding, and then eventually applying the CA glue. All I did, I put a pool of CA glue on the shop towel, and pretty much just moved it along as best I could. Obviously much bigger than your average pen, but I wasn't bothered. I just wanted to get the glue on there, use a bit of accelerator, dry it up, and then sand it down to the white powder. Repeat a couple of times, and then use the Brasso. What I'm making now is a piece which is going to screw on the bottom of the stick, and it's also going to take like a rubber foot. Now the rubber foot had a bevel on it, so I've cut it so that the bevel fits inside this piece of wood, and the piece of wood can be turned down to the diameter of the rubber foot. It worked pretty good. Just a bit of detailing here, CA glue finish, and polished off. So there it is. I'm really pleased with it. It feels great, smooth. The CA finish is hard and nice. You know, the whole thing feels solid. You can see the top off the handle there. Just put it back on. I'm going to turn like a little pen, I think, to go in there for him. But he can put whatever he wants. Toothpicks, I think he uses all the time. Put them in. I used a bit of milliput around the top, not for strength but to tidy up the joint between the stick and the handle. There you can see all the segments. There's the brass joint, and there's the foot. All comes together really well. Each segment's got a slight curvature to it. There's a quick release joint in it into two pieces. Turn the brass down to the diameter of the stick. It's about 25 mil, I think, the diameter, 25 to 30 mil. Feels solid. The whole thing feels quite heavy. It's strong. It's got the metal running all the way through the middle. Stayed pretty straight, which I'm quite pleased with. I think he's going to be pleased with it. He's got he's just got your typical water stick you're buying. Anyway, that's for you, Dad.